Hi, this is Paul. We're going to do some digital SAT practice questions. These are reading and writing questions. They are foundations questions, meaning that they're easier than some other questions might be. First set is on command of textual evidence. All right. So rather than reading the whole paragraph here, let's just look first at the question. Which finding, if true, would most directly support Mueller and Harris's conclusion? What is their conclusion? They claim that giraffes, well, it's right here. They claim that giraffes may help each other care for one another's newborns. So that's what we're looking for, some answer that suggests that giraffes care for one another's newborns. What do we have here as the choices? D, female giraffes have been observed feeding young giraffes that aren't their direct offspring. I mean, that's exactly what we're looking for, so let's go with D. The Land of Enchantment is a 1906 travel book by Lillian Whiting. In the book, which describes the experience of traveling through the southwestern United States by train, sounds fun. Whiting reflects on the escape from everyday life that such a journey provides. Which quotation from the Land of Enchantment most effectively illustrates the claim? The claim that it's an escape from everyday life. So, social and picturesque charm of the long journeys, stops made for refreshment. No. Experience a certain sense of detachment from ordinary day and daylight duties. Yeah, that sounds good. Real journey begins at Chicago. No. Opportunities, advantages, constant. No. So B sounds like it's right on target. All right. I'm not sure we have to read this whole thing. Let's read the question. Which finding, if true, would most directly support the student's hypothesis? What is the student's hypothesis? Hypothesizes that Gidra's influence cannot be measured by the number of newsletters published monthly alone. Okay, what do we have for answers here? Contributed financially, based out of blah, blah, blah. People would often give their copies to others once they had finished reading an issue. Yeah, so if they publish a certain number, but it gets passed on to other people, then the original publication number is not. What was the hypothesis again? Yeah, you can't just measure it by the number of newsletters published because people tend to share them. So let's go with C. All right, let's read the question first. Which finding, if true, would most directly support the researcher's claim? What is the claim? The claim is that the thick disk of the Milky Way formed in two distinct phases. Okay. Possible answers. There's an age difference of about 2 billion years between certain stars in the thick disk. That is good evidence. So let's go with A. Yes. What does it say here? Consistent age difference of 2 billion years. Okay. Next set of questions. Command of quantitative evidence. For a school project, a nutrition student needs to recommend an alternative animal milk that is similar to cow milk in terms of protein and fat composition, which is shown in the table. Based on a nutritional analysis of the four most widely consumed animal milks after cow milk, the student has decided to recommend, all right, so which one, here's cow over here, which one is most similar in terms of the protein and fat content? Camel. Camel is very close. So is that one of the choices? Yes, camel. Okay. All right, we've got some data here. Let's see what the question is. Again, I'm not sure we have to read the whole thing. Which choice best describes data from the table that supports the researcher's claim? What is the researcher's claim? Their claim is that electricity and heat production, which entails the burning of coal, natural gas, and oil, is the largest source of greenhouse gas emissions. All right, so now we'll look at the table. And largest source of greenhouse gas emissions is right here. Electricity and heat production. Okay, what are the answers? In 2010, which is where the data is from, 2010. In 2010, electricity and heat production was responsible for 25%, the most of any sector. That is true. Nan Gao and her team conducted multiple surveys to determine participants' level of comfort, temperatures controlled by commercial climate control system. Participants filled out surveys to indicate their level of comfort on a scale from -3, very cold, to +3, very hot, 0, neutral, and also to indicate how they would prefer the temperature to be adjusted. The table shows 3 participants' responses in one of the surveys. According to the table, all 3 participants wanted the room to be cooler. That's true. I mean, the other thing that jumps out is that participant 20 was already reporting being pretty cold, but wanted to be even colder. So, according to the table, all 3 participants wanted the room to be cooler, and now which choice most effectively uses data to complete the statement? But participant 20 reported feeling significantly colder than the other 2 participants. Yeah, that's the thing that kind of jumps out there. Deformation rate of 5 volcanoes. Okay. Actually, if you look at the space that we need to fill in here, it suggests that we don't really need to read the whole paragraph. Although Sierra Negra experienced a lot of deformation, its deformation rate was still lower than that of, so then look at the graph, and it's lower than Pacaya. So let's go with that. Next set of questions is on central ideas and details. Which choice best states the main idea of the text? Well, in that case, we're going to have to read it. For centuries, Polynesian wayfinders navigated the Pacific Ocean using only the stars, the currents, and other natural clues for guidance. Today, some wayfinders use modern technology such as GPS and solar panels to enhance the safety and speed of their journeys. Nonetheless, they continue to practice traditional wayfinding techniques, keeping their ancient art alive and preserving an important part of Polynesian culture. All right, main idea. A. Though some wayfinders use modern technology, they continue to practice the traditional art of wayfinding. Yeah, I don't think we need to read the rest of them because that one is so accurate. Okay. Following text is from Wordsworth's 1807 poem, I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud. What is the question here? Based on the text, in what way are the daffodils that the speaker encounters similar to stars in the Milky Way? All right, let's take a look back here. So he sees a host of daffodils continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way. They stretched in a never-ending line. So it looks like the key things here are continuous, never-ending. What are the options? They appear to twinkle. No. Seem to, no. Flutter, no. Seem to go on forever. Yes. According to the text, what challenge did the researchers have to overcome? All right, let's see. In 2022, researchers rediscovered ancient indigenous glyphs or drawings on the walls of a cave in Alabama. The cave's ceiling was only a few feet high, affording no position from which the glyphs, being as wide as 10 feet, could be viewed or photographed in their entirety. However, the researchers used a technique called photogrammetry to assemble numerous photos of the walls into a 3D model. They then worked with representatives of tribes to understand the significance. Okay, so the problem is the the dimensions of the cave. So let's see what the answers are here. Cave was so remote? No. Glyphs were faint? No. Cave's dimensions? Yes. Let's see. Well, main idea. Which choice states the main idea? Microplastics are pieces of plastic that are smaller than a grain of rice. These small plastics can be found in large quantities in ocean waters. Ecologist Jessica Reichert and her team are studying the role reef building corals have in capturing microplastics from ocean waters. Through research, her team has found that these corals may be storing up to 20 million kilograms of microplastics each year in their skeletons and tissues. Wow, that's a lot. Um, okay, what's the main idea? Ecologists are interested in learning more. They probably are, but I mean that's not the main idea. Microplastics, no. Questions remain, no. Yeah, it's the thing about storing the large amounts of microplastics. That was the main idea. Okay, and the final set of questions that we're going to do for this video is the questions are on inferences. Which choice most logically completes the text? Okay, in a study of the effects of stress on the brain, neuroscientists Sunita Kumar, Ethan Wilson, and others examined the brains of rats exposed to stressful situations. Researchers found that stress caused inflammation in the hippocampus, a part of the brain involved in memory and learning. They also discovered that this inflammation is likely to that this inflammation reduced the rat's ability to form new memories. They concluded that stress is likely to, it's likely to reduce the ability to form new memories. Which is this one right here, decrease an individual's ability to form new memories. Which choice most logically completes the text? Okay, many people are familiar with the literary works of Tolkien, such as Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. Tolkien was known for creating rich, intricate fantasy worlds in his novels, which often featured themes of heroism and courage. Fewer people are aware that Tolkien was a professor of Anglo-Saxon and medieval English at Oxford University, and that he incorporated elements of those languages and historical periods into his works. Thus, those who read Tolkien's novel without this knowledge okay, it's nothing about the political climate. May not recognize the influence of his academic background. That one, I'll hold that one. May mistakenly believe the ground and horses. No. May underestimate the impact. No, it's nothing about other fantasy authors. So we're going to have to go with B. Okay, Martin Danchak. That's a tough one. Lewin Chesmonto and colleagues have identified a new carnivorous plant species in Indonesia. Carnivorous plant species. Like other carnivorous plants, it has pitfall traps or pitchers that capture prey, but unlike others, the pitchers are located underground. Researchers unearthed the new species on fairly dry ridges with surfaces that hold few other plants and animals. Therefore, the researchers hypothesized that the species likely is buried nearby. No, it's no, because it says there really are very few uh, plants and animals anyway, so A doesn't sound good. Evolved to have underground traps to access more prey. Yeah, that makes sense. If there's no prey on the surface, then there may be um, an underground prey. What are the other ones? Foreign pictures really? No, represents one of many. No, the one that makes sense is B. Okay, which choice most logically completes the text? Microbes that live in shallow lakes and ponds produce methane, a harmful greenhouse gas. Ecologist Ralph Abin and his team wanted to see how different types of shallow water plants might affect the amount of methane that escapes into the atmosphere. Abin's team set up some water tanks with soil and microbes from local ponds. Some tanks had a type of underwater plant that grows in the soil called water milfoil. Other tanks had either duckweed, a type of plant that floats on the water surface, or algae. Aben and his team found that tanks with duckweed and algae released higher levels of methane than tanks with water milfoil did. This finding suggests that shallow lakes and ponds are more likely to contain algae. No, shallow lakes and ponds, deeper. Well, the text didn't talk about deeper bodies of water. The presence of some kinds of underwater plants like water milfoil help prevent methane from escaping. Yeah, that's true. Having a mix of algae underwater plant. No, it was nothing about having a mix. The algae and duckweed were worse, so I'm gonna have to go with C. Okay. All right, that's it for now. Feel free to like, subscribe, and see you next time.